Hello and good afternoon from your Co-op Community Stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore. Next to me today is Leamington Ladies Vice Captain Linda Turner, and you join us for what will undoubtedly be an afternoon of twists and turns as both these sides have it all to play for in this, the last game of the regular season in the Southern League Premier Central Division. It's Leamington versus AFC Sudbury. It's already been a week of high drama off the pitch in this division. Yesterday, Mickleover Sport confirmed that they had been what had been much rumoured through the week, and that was through fielding an ineligible player during the campaign. They've been deducted 12 points, the maximum punishment, and Mickleover, having been one of the front runners from the first whistle of this season, now see their points tally of 78 being sat in third, slashed to 66 and slotting into sixth, 1 point outside the playoffs. That means that Leamington are elevated to that third position and now looking to secure that spot and a coveted home playoff semi-final. Below them, however, is the not only aforementioned Mickleover and Stamford, but also the likes of Redditch and Stratford, all of whom will be hoping things fall their way in the next couple of hours and they can secure playoff spots themselves. Leamington's home form has once again been a big part of their current league position, having only lost twice here in the league. They've picked up 11 wins and 6 draws and will be hoping that they can push for one more positive result this afternoon. Today's opponent, Sudbury, may be at the opposite end of the table, but don't be fooled. This game is just as important to them as they look to secure a result that will keep them in the league. The Suds come into this one place and 2 points above the relegation line, with Nuneaton out of existence, Long Eaton down a long time ago along with Berkhamsted. It'll be one of either Hitchin or Sudbury to go. Sudbury sit 2 points above Hitchin in that battle and will also have a close eye on their game as the Canaries are at home to Stourbridge this afternoon. The Suds were promoted into this division in Step 3 for the first time in their history last season, and today will tell if they'll be back at it for the first time of asking. Leamington will have the first corner of the afternoon, and it'll be Henry Landers to take. Evans, Edwards, Street, all forward from the back. Here comes the corner from Landers. It's flat towards the near post, flicked on by Evans, cleared away by Sudbury. Back out to Landers, tries to dink one up towards the far post. It's high, it's floated, it's headed over his own goal. Theo Street went down in a mess. Fans behind that goal appealed for a decision. Referee seemed to be unsighted. You couldn't see anything from here either. Street has stayed down, but either way, it'll be a corner to Leamington. And Street is still down, and the referee is just double checking. He didn't need any attention, but from our position in Turner, difficult to see exactly what went on at the far post.
Yeah, Sudbury seems to have about 5 players around him, so.
And certainly the danger man in corners is Theo Street. Jack Edwards just barking in the ear of referee Walker, but nothing comes from it apart from another corner on the right hand side. He goes across into the 6-yard box to have a chat. I don't need to tell you who he's having a chat with, because you've guessed it, it's Jack Edwards. Sudbury take the goal kick long and high, well headed away by Street, appeals for a free kick. Walker put under pressure by Olowitz-Millihan, and then Olowitz-Millihan has gone flying in on Quainer. It wasn't a good challenge at all, and all the players now surround the referee. It was one of those loose bouncing balls. Olowitz-Millihan went flying in. He was high, he was late. Quainer's stayed down. The referee's just bought himself a little bit of time. He's just seeing if Quainer's going to need any attention, and I'd be very surprised if Olowitz-Millihan escapes a caution here. It looked late. Referee Walker has decided that it's just a yellow card for Olamide Olowitz-Millihan, which is easy for me to say, and he finds his way into the referee's notebook for the first time of asking. Williams just heads it forward in the middle of the park, but again, there's that man, Olowitz-Millihan, who just wins the header in the middle of the park, but it's going to come all the way back towards Callum Hawkins, and Hawkins can just take stock of the situation, and then left-footed, he'll clear high up towards Edwards. Edwards doesn't quite win it in the air, but it'll bounce all the way through towards Landers. Landers inside the box, chops back onto his left foot. Landers has a go! Side netting, took a deflection. Leamington will have a corner. Good play though, Lynn Turner on the right-hand side, into the feet of Landers, who couldn't quite get his shot on target.
Yeah, this is much better. It's getting the crowd going now.
Throw in, and it'll be taken by Dunn. Forward it goes, headed forward by Sudbury, but Evans will collect and just sling one forward in towards Stewart, and Stewart might get there, and he does on the edge of the 18-yard box. Stewart, left-footed drive! Half a yard over. I don't think Bradbrook was too worried. He had a little jump and threw a glove towards it, but it was that again. That awareness from Callum Stewart. He knows that ball's going to come over the top from Rob Evans. He collects it on the edge of the 18-yard box. He didn't let anyone get back goal side of him. He had an early shot, and it was just half a yard over the top.
Yeah, that was a difficult shot, to be honest. It was on the bounce, so he's done well there.
Quainer, Edwards barking at him down the line. He decides this time to go back towards Evans. Evans, right-footed, switch of play. Meredith, plenty of space on the right-hand side, dinks it forward, headed away by Sudbury into the middle of the park where it's headed down by Williams. Landers can't collect and Sudbury clear their lines again, only as far as Street. Edwards flicks it forward. Cowley comes out of defence to head it further away. And it just pings around in the middle of the park and no one can get it under control until Jackson just tries to get around the outside of his man, and this time Theo Street with a loose touch, and it's collected by Pinnington. Pinnington down the right hand side, he's away from Quainer in towards the far post. Jackson couldn't get the ball out of his feet. Really good play by Pinnington down the right hand side, got away from his man, laid it into the 18-yard box where Jackson was arriving. Jackson couldn't get his shot on target.
No, Leamington really needs to take control of this game, especially in the middle.
Callum Hawkins takes this goal kick a little bit flat in towards the feet of Evans, gets it out of his feet, stabs it forward towards Landers, who's got space now on this right hand side. Landers, can he get his cross in onto his right foot? He does get his cross in. Callum Stewart! Who else is going to be there for the breaks but Callum Stewart? He's done it so many times this season. He's been asked the question time and time again, and time again he's come up with the answer. Ball in from the right hand side from Henry Landers, and Callum Stewart was there right onto his head to head it past the stranded Bradbrook, and the breaks take the lead here at Urquhart Community Stadium. It's Leamington 1, Sudbury 0.
That was a great ball by Evans over to Landers and into Stewart.
Really good play, wasn't it? Landers just picked it up on the right hand side. He whipped it in with aplomb right onto the head of Callum Stewart, and Leamington are doing exactly what they need to do this afternoon with things in their own hands. They've taken the lead. A new ball is delivered out to the right hand side, and it'll be Joe Neal, who takes this corner out swinging. Instead he goes short, work back to him, they play the 1-2, work towards the edge where Jackson has a go, and it's straight into the gloves of Callum Hawkins, and Jackson holds his head in his hands. I think he felt he could have connected cleaner with it. He got a shot on target, but Callum Hawkins was well positioned just to easily take it into his clutches. You can see the likes of Joe Clark, Devon Kelly-Evans and Jaya Madrano all warming up for the breaks. Yet to see any changes for Leamington, just the one change for Sudbury as Shurrock works it into the path of Walker. Walker, can he get his shot off? Yes, he can! Just a yard wide from Adam Walker, the captain, just blows his cheeks out a little bit and has a hop, skip and a jump. I think he thought it was closer than perhaps it was, but again, better intent from Leamington as that ball just came forward and Adam Walker managed to get his shot off.
Yeah, much more control in the centre mid, much better.
Forward comes Adam Walker for the breaks. He's got Stewart making a run. Stewart drops deep. He's got time to turn. Stewart onto the edge of the area. Tries to get away from his man. Down he goes. Challenge looked clumsy. The referee says that Corley won the ball and points for a corner. Callum Stewart has a quizzical look to the referee, but not too many appeals. So it usually says to me that he did win the ball and just stabbed it out of play for a corner.
Yeah, it was very obvious. He got the ball there.
Leamington will have this corner on the left-hand side. Forwards come straight from the back. They leave Evans, Quainer and Meredith all chaperoning Jackson and Napa. They've still got plenty in there to make a nuisance of themselves as Shorrock delivers this corner. Swings it in towards the near post and it's touched goalward! It's in the back of the net and it's Jack Edwards! Jack Edwards, in his 410th appearance, peels away towards the home fans in that corner, and Leamington double their advantage. Jack Edwards' 5th goal of the season, his 65th for the club. He always comes up trumps when the breaks need it the most, and he adds a second to Leamington's tally for the afternoon. It's Leamington 2, Sudbury 0. It's Jack Edwards on the score sheet.
That was an absolute insane corner, very tricky to defend, and the fans are loving it.
Just whipped into that area where the keeper couldn't really come for it. He was pinned, it bumbled around the 6-yard box, and then it was stabbed home by Jack Edwards, who scored on his last home game here, and he adds a second in as many games at home. It's Leamington 2, Sudbury 0, and Jack Edwards enjoyed that one. Leamington have a throw it over on the far side, taken by Meredith. Barnett flicks it in play, hooked away by Sudbury up to halfway, where Theo Street will win the header for the breaks. And that is that, says referee Walker. And Leamington have done exactly what they needed to do this afternoon. They've not only booked all 3 points, they've booked their playoff spot, and they've booked it as high as they possibly can. Leamington secure third in the league. That means that they will have a home playoff tie on Wednesday evening here, but Leamington have ran out 2-0 winners here this afternoon, courtesy of goals from both Callum Stewart and Jack Edwards. Final thoughts this afternoon on today's performance by Leamington ladies vice captain Lynn Turner.
Yeah, it was a great game to come down to. You could tell that Leamington were a bit nervy to start with. After the first goal settled things a bit, and then getting that second, I think, just sent them over the edge.
Well, we'll be here with you on Wednesday night. We'll stay with you just in the closing stages of Hitchin Stourbridge as well, because they are still playing there, and Sudbury players are all having nervous looks towards the bench. They're all looking towards their own coaching staff to see if they have done enough. And at this stage, they have Hitchin 0, Stourbridge 0, which means at the moment Sudbury are staying up as Jack Edwards takes the congratulations of his daughter on the pitch. He's certainly happy that he got his goal this afternoon. His daughter wearing the 400 shirt that was given to his daughter when he ticked past 400 appearances this afternoon, and she's certainly happy with what she's seen from her dad this afternoon. And so are all the Leamington fans who are applauding the players who make their way towards the shed end on the left hand side. They're still playing at Hitchin. It's still Hitchin 0, Stourbridge 0. Sudbury fans nervously waiting for the full-time whistle from that game, and I think it's full-time because Sudbury have acted like they've scored, and there's absolute scenes to our right-hand side as Sudbury, all in fancy dress, certainly believe that they've stayed up. Sudbury stay up on the final day of the season, and they stay up by a point. Leamington fans make their way out in front of us, and they're certainly enjoying themselves as well. So it's celebrations all round here at your Co-op Community Stadium. Leamington have booked third in the league, and congratulations to Sudbury as well. They have stayed up. Leamington will be at home here on Wednesday night against Redditch.
But before that, come and watch the ladies on Monday.
Come down to the Bescott on Monday and make sure that you watch the ladies in action in their final against Coventry City Ladies. Thanks for always as joining us this afternoon, as you have done all season. It's finished here at your Co-op Community Stadium. Leamington 2, Sudbury 0.
Paul, a very tense afternoon here, but Leamington have come away with the 3 points and into the playoffs, I suppose, so you must be happy. Thoughts on the game?
Delighted, yes. I think, listen, we've had good prep for the playoffs, because I think the last 3-4 games have felt like playoff games. Today felt like a playoff game. I thought it was a cagey first half. And the message we had for our players second half was, could we be a little bit braver? We had to try and stretch their back five block when they were defending. We had to get the ball wide and get some 2v2s, 2v1s and be brave. And I think the first goal epitomised that when we did bring them out a little bit. We got the ball wide, we got a 2v1, dragged the left-sided centre half out, create the space in the middle of the park for Jack and Callie, and good. I mean, it was a really good second half. I thought we looked a threat. We were a bit braver second half. We looked a threat all game. So from our point of view, for us to finish where we have, and after everything we've had to sort of go through 12 months ago, is an unbelievable achievement by the players. Some of the old pros, some of the young boys, a mixed bag, but they've been super and quite consistent, to be fair. You feel for obviously Hitchin. We've had some great battles over the years with them. I can only think going there in November, it was like a top of the table game. It's bizarre, but for Sudbury, they, as I said this week, they lost 12 points with the Nuneaton demise. They've had to really, so you're delighted for them as well. So listen, we're going to enjoy the next hour, enjoy the presentation, but then we're back here Monday night. Prepping for Wednesday, and then we're all set for which will be the last time we played in the playoffs. It was a great night, great occasion. Let's hope Wednesday's the same.
How important was it to keep the players focused on this game, because at half time all the results weren't going Leamington's way?
I think experience, really. I think you have to manage them situations, and you can only be good at what you can control. So as a player today, message to the players individuals, be the best you can be. And I thought if we had a lot of 6.5 out of 10s today would be all right, and that's what's happened. I thought it was a consistent performance today. We consistently did the right things with and without the ball. We grounded out, and we had moments of quality in the game. And look, when you've got a few players been around, I've been around for a while, and you got to be able to. That's it. And it'll be it was the same Stanford game last Saturday. It's the same again today. But the same Wednesday, and you have to be able to deal with it, and you have to deal with half time. In theory, like you've said, would be if people are looking at it, it's a bit of a setback maybe, but the bottom line was it was crystal clear. Win the game, and whether you win it in, the first minute or the 90th minute, that was the message. And no, great. And I have to say we've deserved it. I think on the whole season I think we've only lost 6 games. I think defensively we're right up there. We've bedded in some good young players, and it's been a fantastic effort by everybody.
With the Mickleover points deduction, it meant Leamington has finished 3rd. How important is it to get that home game here?
Well, listen, Mickleover deserve the game. I feel, as a football person, Mickleover are very similar clubs to clubs like ourselves, a lot of part-time people. I know John well, I know some of his players. And listen, they've gone toe-to-toe with Needham Market all season. And I do feel a bit sorry for some of the part-time clubs with volunteers. And I don't know, I'm guessing there's some volunteer there that's got a little bit of paperwork wrong. And listen, we've gained from it. Of course, we're delighted to have the home game here. But I'm so glad Mickleover made the playoffs. And they've showed great character to win them last 2 games. Because I just think maybe, in my time, how difficult it is registering players and the computer systems and this form and that form and this form and that form. And I'm not sure that's right, really. It can be a lot simpler. And I think once you've got a code, a registration from the league for a player, and just make it simple for these volunteers. I think there's certain people higher up the pyramid need to realise that these are volunteers, and you've seen what Leamington provide. Your time here, what Leamington provide for community. We're one of thousands of clubs at this level, step 3, 4, 5, that do 6, 7, 8, that do so much for the area, and you can't be penalising some bloke that's working really hard, voluntary for a football club. That's not right. So listen, but yeah, it's our game. I'm delighted they've got in because they deserve to be in there. And listen, it's 4 good teams, and I would possibly say probably about just Stratford maybe. They've been there all year, haven't they? So it's someone's always going to miss out today, and I feel for them because when you think, but I think when the Stratford boys take stock, they've been in relegation battles the last couple of years. So the job that Gavin, Liam and Lee Vaughan have done this year is remarkable, and but we know what it's like just missing out. We know what it's like just winning it. So it's just you bank it all and you use it as experience going forward. So roll on Wednesday.